All right. Welcome back to the Prophetic Podcast. We are in studio today with A-list photography.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. You got a long resume. And his wife is here, too. If you'll introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Melvin Bulock Jr. I'm the owner of A-list Photography.
My name is Destiny Bulock, and I'm the owner of Diamond Dior Hair Kollection.
Y'all are a collective. I
Yes,
keep
sir.
getting these couples, man. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I've had several, like the past 3 times I've had couples in here. Maybe that's where we're supposed to head to. I don't know. But yeah, it's good to see you, man. I'm happy that you're here. It's very nice to meet you. You said your drive-in was good?
Yeah, the drive-in was perfect, actually.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And you said you're not originally from Dallas.
No, I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
How did you land in Dallas?
Wow, that's a little story behind it if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, we got a good 45 minutes.
To make it brief, I came to Dallas to go skydiving with my brother for his birthday.
I saw that video. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
So to give you a little backstory, I was actually doing research on you last night. I was supposed to be watching Swagger on HBO, but I missed all that. I was just looking. I was like, is he skydiving? No, I can't do it, bro. I'm so, you won't catch me jumping out of nothing.
I'm a thrill seeker.
Apparently. Yeah. How was that?
It's very experiencing. When you up there and you get ready to jump, of course, your stomach drop. But when you get out the plane and you, for a few seconds, you're like, oh my God. But then you notice you flying. And it's
Were
the
you with
most,
him?
it was the most
Absolutely
amazing
not.
You're not
experience
jumping out of
ever.
nothing, right?
Absolutely.
She ain't. I'm cool. I'm grounded.
I'll be here when you get back.
Likewise. Yeah, you up there by yourself, buddy. Yeah, so I wanted to just ask you that as an icebreaker. But so how do let me get a little backstory as to where your journey started with what you do.
Yeah.
So where did it all start? Why photography? How'd you get there?
It started in high school. I was a sports kid. And being a sports kid, you learn as you get so high or at a certain level. And in high school, you need highlight films. And we never had no one recording us in the urban area where I'm from.
Which is typical.
So
Yeah.
I asked my dad for a camera.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
I
It was like a little
everything.
camcorder?
You definitely
Man,
know it was
I
a camcorder.
want one, actually. That little footage, man, it's like so vintage looking. So, yeah.
So when my dad gave me a camcorder, I did YouTube University, and I taught myself how to edit and make film. And when I did that, and all of my peers seen my highlight reels of myself, they all wanted one for themselves. So it instantly started a business in high school.
Wow. Becky, you hear that? I know she's loving this right now. I'm sure she will. So how did you decide to make it into a business though? So why make it a business? Was that your first choice as to what you wanted to do with your career?
It wasn't my first choice. I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to be a track star or a football player.
Okay.
And as you grow up, realness hits you. I would say that.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't make it to the pros. I went very far, but I didn't make it to the pros. So in the same sense, it was like, what else can I do to sustain the things that I want in life?
Right. Okay. Okay.
That's what it went to.
And so, where do you come into this journey? Because you're from Texas, right?
I am.
Yeah.
So you must have obviously you didn't meet him when he was skydiving when he got down here. So when did you meet him?
Well, it actually happened when I came to Texas, and I asked my
skydiving?
brother. I asked
Really?
my brother. I said,
Okay.
"Bro, how do you meet women in Texas? Like, it's not the same
It's
as
just
in
Walmart, bro.
Detroit."
That's easy. It ain't
I
that-
said, "How do you meet women in
it ain't that
Texas?"
much. It ain't that hard.
So this will be the first time we tell this story in a professional manner.
Let's do it.
Can we tell the story, babe?
Yeah, come on. Let's be honest.
Go ahead, get loose.
I met my wife on Tinder.
I met mine on OkCupid, so don't feel bad, bro. Like it's
Yeah,
not. I
but
told
this
someone that
was-
a couple weeks ago. It's fine.
I want my wife to speak a little bit on this, but this was both our first time ever doing anything like
Is
this.
that the one where you swipe?
Yes.
So both of y'all swiped whatever.
Neither one of
direction?
us ever went on an app to meet people. We normally meet people the way we meet people. But one of her friends told her to try it, and my brother told me to try it. And I met my wife.
And y'all both swipe. What is it? Right, left, up, down? I don't know.
It's swipe right.
See, I've been out the game for a while. So y'all both swipe right. Got the little notification. Then boom.
Yeah, we talked for a minute to make sure she was comfortable. Then I asked her if it was okay if I could call her on the phone. And from there, it was magic.
I noticed that I appreciate that because you just said, can we tell the story? So there's still that ultimate level of respect, which I appreciate that. I noticed that. So when he asked you that, what did you say? Did you say yes immediately? Or did you make him work for it?
I definitely made him work for it.
Good job. There you go.
Because I said, how do I know that you're not crazy? How do I know you're
Truthfully,
not a killer?
Yeah.
And so we were kind of speaking, and he was like, well, I'll tell you what, I would love to meet you. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to meet me in a public place with cameras.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. So we actually met up in a public place full of people. And then when he and I sat and had a conversation, it was like we had known each other forever. It was a lot of chemistry. And what attracted me to him was his teeth. And I know that's funny. Yes, it was his teeth. It's his smile.
His teeth?
Yes. So I have a bad habit. I don't know why.
On point that day, buddy. Just let you know.
So I have a habit of when people talk, looking at their teeth. And so it was his smile. You're
I just
fine.
had coffee, so it might not be okay.
No, you're
right.
fine. And it was kind of like his smile.
Yeah.
Just reached out and grabbed me, and pulled me in. And then if I have to be completely transparent, this man's conversation and mentality made love to my mom before he ever laid his hands on me.
Men take notes.
And
that is
so
accurate.
It was just like, wow, his spirit, everything, his aura, everything about him was just different than what I experienced here in Texas with other men that, I have dated in the past.
Yeah.
And so he wined and dined me and took me out every day for like almost a week straight, right? Mm-hmm. We get to the end of the week and this man is like, I have something to tell you. And I got real ghetto on him. I'm like, man, what? I'm like, Ninja, you got kids? What? You got a girl on the side
you
or
can say
what?
whatever you want to hear. You don't even have to censor yourself.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
So he was like, oh, my flight leave tomorrow, but I would love to stay in touch with you. And I'm like, huh?
You didn't know? Did you know he was leaving that soon?
No.
Oh, you didn't.
So he told me
you didn't tell
the night before he got ready to fly out. He's like, yeah, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. And I fly out in the morning. I'm like, where is that? I ain't never even heard of a Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
He like, calm down. He was like, your mouth is so foul for you to be so pretty. He was like, I'm going to tell you something. I'm a man of my word.
I'm assuming you must not have a foul mouth.
Nah.
Okay. I need to ask you about that too, because I do. My shit is terrible. So I do. So don't lose no respect for me, man. It don't change the intellect. You know what I'm saying?
So just basically make a long story short,
Yeah.
after we went out, and I will say this, after we went out on a date and hung out, this man will fill my gas tank up.
Oh, you're from the old club.
And I was like, without me having to ask or
Okay.
anything, but before we would like part our ways and he would go back to where, he was, and I go back, he would fill up my tank and I would be like, wow, he's different. But this whole time we was kicking it and we was having fun, it
like
did
that,
not
man.
come up to the end of the conversation. I mean, the end of the week, like, okay, I live somewhere totally different. But he told me something. He was like, I'm going to make you change the way that you view men.
Okay.
He was like, I'm a man of my word. I'm busy. I'm a traveling photographer, videographer. But let me show you some consistency, which is his favorite word, by the way.
Mine is consistency plus time equals success. So we might be from the same cloth too. So you've watched this journey basically.
Yes, absolutely.
And then how has it been? Has it been tough for both of you? Either one of you can ask this question. In your entrepreneurial lives, individually and as a unit, has it been tough?
Absolutely.
Okay. What are some of the obstacles, if you could speak to any of them, that have you've had to overcome?
So I'm going to say for me, being in the hair industry, women are sensitive about their hair. Let's start there. And hair fluctuates. So it can be a moment in time where everybody wants to buy extensions. Everybody wants to buy wigs. And then it can be a moment where you can have 20 sales one week and have none the following week. And I think that that's where the transparency lies in entrepreneurship, is because everybody just paints a picture like it's just all good all the time. And it's absolutely not. Like, you have to be honest. You can make all the money you need 1 month for your bills, and then the next month you ain't got nothing.
Does it work the same way for photography?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how do you keep like, I've seen your resume. It's Claudia Jordan. It's Spinderela. It's I saw you work with Rudy from the Huxtables. I saw you work with the Black Ink Crew. I was looking. I was digging through the archives, and you had a long resume. So how do you keep consistent, and how did you land in those rooms where you were with that type of talent?
I want to elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
One is drive,
Of course.
and I did all of those things without an agent.
This is all without agents. I understand.
I get up every day, and I leave the house as if there's no return.
Okay.
I do everything as if, you know what I'm saying, there ain't no tomorrow, basically.
Word.
I would like to say it like that. So every day I'm doing 100 cold calls. Every day I'm doing different advertisement. Every day I'm looking at what's the next best thing out here. I'm trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And getting into all of those places, it took learning the language. Every business has a language.
Okay.
And when you learn your language, you can get indoors and you can get in places that, you know, others can't.
Funny you said that piece. One of my friends told me this the other day. He's like, I know you lose confidence in the show sometimes because we all lose confidence in our work. You're an entrepreneur. You don't know how you're reaching people, how people are receiving what you're doing, if it's really coming across the way you intended. It's a lot, right? But getting in those rooms is key. And he told me this. He's like, you know, you need to think of it this way. A lot of the rooms you've been in, a lot of people may never be in. And that just speaks to your drive. So
yes, sir.
that's called confirmation for me. I've had that happen all week, confirmation too. So yeah,
I would like to say this too.
That.
It's a difference when somebody go to school for it and somebody is self-taught. They both can be a professional. I don't knock no one for what they do and how they do it. Mm-hmm. But I literally went to school for this and I came out the top of my class, but I didn't stop studying.
Oh, it's called a practice for a reason. So you can look at it the same way. So
yes.
Yeah.
So every time I learn something, I take it to my wife. Every time my wife learns something, she brings it back to me.
Oh, y'all like a super team.
Yes.
That's actually inspiring. That's inspiring. So random question. With all the people, she laughed. It's not gonna get that bad. I'm not gonna, it ain't that bad. So, with all the rooms you've been in, have you seen or experienced weird things? Like you hear this Lizzo stuff that's happening, right? So you're behind the scenes. You get to see all this stuff that's going on. Have you been not that you need to give me any kind of dirty details, but does it get weird sometimes, or is it always pretty straightforward with the business side of it?
No, it gets weird sometimes. You just have to have the power in you. So we take gospel with us everywhere we go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We know who our higher power is, mm-hmm. but then also we know who we are within ourselves. So my wife can trust me when I'm not some places. When I feel like I'm about to be in a place full of women, I take my wife with me.
Yeah, that'd be scary. That's scary territory. Not that you would ever do anything, but it's just anything can be seen as anything these days. With these little things, it could be made out to whatever they want it to be. So I get what you're saying.
This is my second set of eyes.
Yeah, Hawk.
This is my security. This is my.
Have you had to get them off of them? Have you ever had to be like, it's you, please? Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. You never. Not the photographers don't get looks. I'm just saying you don't think of it that way because you're thinking about who's in front of the camera. But it is. I had a cousin that works in film in Houston. He's like, man, it's never the talent in front of the camera. You need to know everybody behind the scenes. He's like, that's who everybody needs to know because that's where all the connections are.
Yes.
So you've had to get them off of him, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, she ain't playing. She is dead serious. You got you a good one. So what's your favorite part of what you do? And what's your day-to-day look like? Both of you, either way.
Go first, babe.
Favorite part and least favorite part of what you guys do?
Okay, so I'm going to be very transparent.
Please do.
My highlights and my favorite moments are how his business opens doors for me. So I'm in the hair industry. That's my lane, right? Mm-hmm. So he got an opportunity to go to Brunner Brothers hair show. And that is something that's on my list of things to do.
I did see that. Mm-hmm.
And his blessing was my blessing as well. And so it allowed me to be able to use my products in the show. I got to work with a celebrity hairstylist, David Torrey. Shout out to him.
Hey.
And also I got to work with James Black. He's amazing as well. I got to meet BB Judy. I got to meet Yandy. I also was able to give them some of my hair care products.
No, go ahead.
And that's a highlight for me.
Yeah.
Is because sometimes I don't expect to be in certain rooms or certain places.
Right.
Right. But his blessing, being able to be the photographer, videographer at those events was able to allow me to be able to be there and partner with him and help and incorporate my
least
products.
Favorite part of what you do. We already on you, so least favorite. There's got to be a least favorite. I have one for what I do, for sure.
I would say least favorite for me would be just when my business slows down.
Okay.
It's because it's kind of disappointing, like, dang, okay, well, where did I do, go wrong?
Yeah.
And, how can I be better, or how can I get in certain rooms or how can I get to my goals when things begin to slow down. And one thing I will say my husband did teach me is I'm not a talker. I like to sit in a room and watch the room and feel the temperature.
You're not a talker?
I'm not a talker.
I don't know. The past. Are you sure?
I'm definitely not a talker.
She talking today. What'd you do to her? You told her you gotta talk today?
I gave her that.
It's a podcast. That's what it is.
So he's like, when you get in a room and you're a business owner, introduce yourself.
Word.
Work that room.
Accurate.
Network, because you never know who may be in that room. You never know who could possibly change your life. All it takes is one time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've kind of taken that, and applied it in certain areas.
He's smiling. He must have. You remember the advice, okay? So what's
I just want to see my wife win.
That's dope, man.
Like
That's dope.
Any
Black love.
She can go before me if you get what I'm saying.
Honestly, in my household, it works the same way. It's like if this was because my wife's I call her my wife, but girlfriend, but we can get there. She's an artist.
We gonna shoot the wedding.
I know you.
We gonna shoot it.
Y'all can tandem up right here. You can get Becky. Y'all can do whatever it is. I don't know what y'all do. All this camera stuff is all y'all. So
we on another level, but I love this. I'm gonna tell you that now. I love what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But in our house, it works the same way. It's like if the podcast goes crazy, cool. If your art goes crazy, cool. Either way, the money comes back into the house. So that's how we look at it.
Yes.
But she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let you go first at this time because like you're just like moving at such a pace that I don't want to deter that. I'm like, well, but you can just come with me. Like I'm just gonna. She is with you. Yeah, just ride the tailwind. Let's go. Like you don't have to slow down in what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. The roads will intertwine at some point. So, what is your favorite part and your least favorite part?
My favorite part of everything that I do is presenting a final product to a customer that didn't believe that it can be that. Giving somebody the final video, the final photo shoot, the final flyer, you know what I'm saying, the final documentary, and letting them see their vision come to life.
That is like the most nerve-wracking piece for me. Like when that final cut comes out, I'm like, oh man, please look good. Please let everything line up. Please let the audio match the lips. Please just let it all. I'll be at 2 a.m. Ooh, milliseconds, got to shave that off just to get it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, there's an art to it. There really, really is.
There's no better feeling giving someone something that couldn't believe that can be done.
Yeah, when she sends me the clips, because she does so I'll send her these timestamps, right? And I'm meticulous. Like she'll tell you, I'll write a whole paragraph for a timestamp. Like, okay, when I say this, and then when they say this, and like I'm like that, right? And when she sends it back, I'm like, man, that looks so much better than I could ever. How do you do that? I never understand. Like, how you get the zoom right? How do you pick the angles?
Being a creative, we use a different part of our brain.
Yeah, and see, my creative space is like figuring out how to make this part work.
Yes, sir.
And her creative space is figuring out how to make everything in front of this camera look amazing. And I never understand how y'all do it. I can put it together on a timeline.
That's called a visionary.
Yeah. See, I can envision what I think it should look like, but I don't know how to put the piece. You get what I mean? Everyone has something that they're good at, and I understand what I'm good at and what I'm not. I know what I think it should look like, but she'll get it back to me. I'm like, that is way better than I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like,
see, that's what I'm about to say. This, my wife is gonna look at me crazy, but that's why it's good to have a team.
Yes.
When you start off, of course, you can do everything by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's because you know how to do every job.
Vertically integrated.
But you have to build that team to take certain things off of you, but you still can do the job if you need to.
That's why I was so happy to find her. She was a gem. It was by accident. So what's your least favorite part? The thing that drives you crazy?
The thing that drives me crazy is when I know I'm doing something for a client the right way, and they want it another way.
Okay. So their egos get in the way, essentially.
Is that, but I had to learn, and I love my wife for this. My wife really put this in my head, like, stop, baby. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, people see you as a service, even though that's not how you feel about your artwork. They see it as I'm paying this person for a service, so I want what I want. And if you're not going to give me that, then... But I understand what she's saying. But from your perspective, you know how to do this. Like, you're top of the class. The right way, yeah. Like, so you have this vision. How do you fight that? What do you do to combat that?
I give the client what they want.
Exactly. Okay.
It hurts.
Of course it does.
But I give the client what they want.
Of course it does. Becky, do I do that to you? Please, if I do, okay. I was like, man, I hope I'm not that client. So, how do you guys self-care and take care of each other outside of all of this? What do you do to take a break? I know you said obviously you like to travel, but what do you guys do as a couple and individually to self-care and take care of yourselves to keep this thing going?
I'm going to give this to my wife. I'm going to say this real quick. My wife helped me relax. She helped me be still. And I'm going to let her tell the story because she said it way better than me. But I'm a workaholic, and I'm 6 months ahead. I want to pay the bills. I want our savings to have 6 months of savings in our bank account.
That's smart.
I want our bills paid up for the whole year type of deal. I want both of our bank accounts to match or hers to be overseen in mine. Like, I'm that type of young man. And my wife is like, no, we going on vacation today.
So let me clarify that or make it a little bit more easier to understand.
I think I got it, but go ahead.
How I view it is my husband is the safety net. Because like he said, he's like, what are our bank accounts going to look like 6 months from now? Mm-hmm. You know, we need to start these, you know, accounts for this and make sure we're putting the savings back, make sure we have things for a rainy day, right? Mm-hmm. And then here I am, I'm the wild card, right? So we balance each other out. Is because I'm like, okay, them bills still going to come, but let's take this trip right now. Let's live for today.
Is that I
And
don't want to generalize, but in my house, I'll be like, "Hey, we need new. We don't need nothing."
So it kind of balances
okay.
out.
Yeah.
But to relax, we love to treat each other, and we
tips.
love to be spontaneous.
Very spontaneous.
And so he'll, you know, be like paying bills and things of that nature. He don't necessarily ask me like where your money going or anything like that, but.
Okay.
I may be planning a trip over here and he don't know nothing about it, right?
Okay.
And then we'll get close to the time and I'll be like, okay. For instance, for like his birthday, he thought we were not doing anything for his birthday, right? He thought he was going to get like a little regular dinner, a little celebration. No, I took this man out the country. But he
Where'd
didn't
you go?
even... Where we go, baby?
Punta Cana,
Okay.
Dominican Republic.
I see you. Okay.
And so the whole time, you know, I was making arrangements and making plans over here, putting stuff together.
So you planned that trip. I think I saw that something on your page. So you planned that trip.
I
Okay.
did.
All right. I thought you
I'm
might have
the
been
planner.
working or something. Okay.
She planned all our trips. So
Okay.
I'm going to be, we like to travel. We are a couple that comes from backgrounds where we are putting forth the effort to break generational curses.
Amen.
That's what you should be
So
doing. Yeah.
we want to see the world. We want our eyes to see things. We don't want a bucket list. We want living list. We literally want to be able to live, to tell, and share the stories that we can travel, we can live, we can do things. So
living list. I like that.
I can't say this is exact, but we do go on trips anywhere between 3 to 4 times a year. And some of them be free.
Tell me about the free stuff, please.
I'm a professional photographer, videographer.
So I need to start using my voice to get us some free trips. Okay.
People pay us to go places. So New Orleans was free. Vegas was free. We got 2 free cruises. We got a free trip to Africa.
So let's hold that. Let's hold that.
We got some.
To all
we got
our
some
listeners,
stuff
all the
going
40
on.
countries that are, because we're in 40 countries, so all y'all, especially UK and Italy, I know y'all love us. If you need me to come talk for free, I'm there. Just call me. I will sit and do the same thing in your country for free. Just let me know.
I mean, you can do that, sir. And I would say write it down, make it plain, make it bold, and put it in the universe.
Manifest it.
Before I met my wife, I was doing this. And now I have a life partner. She gets to enjoy the festivities, as she said. You know, weddings is very big. Conferences is very big. Live streaming is very big.
Yeah.
I do all of these things. And now we have photo booths as well. You know what I mean?
You had a 360 booth. I saw you
have
had
a
the
360.
mirror.
We got the vanity mirror.
I saw that.
We have the live streaming set up where we can live stream for any event. We have multiple cameras. We have a camera switcher.
So you can do live shows?
Live.
I might have to. I love y'all. Hello.
And then we have our photography
get a
set
price
up.
on a live show.
And we have a studio as well.
Word. Okay. So
I got to tell this story.
Please do. Hey, it's your time to shine, buddy.
There's nothing like a support system. I'm going to be blatantly honest. I don't say it a lot. I was a sheriff here in Dallas working at Lou Sterrett.
You were a police officer?
I was a correctional officer in the jail.
I never had 5
I
on the show.
did
This
this
is cool. Go ahead,
for
man.
my family.
Why she laughing?
Didn't I do this for my family, babe?
He did.
I did this for my family. So my first year
That's
here in
what's up,
Texas
though.
was horrible. My first year, I depleted my savings within 12 months.
That can
My
happen
wife
here.
was taking care of me. And you know, as a man, like...
That's tough. I've been there.
She took the responsibility. She took the last couple months. She paid all the bills and did stuff. And I was like, I'm from Detroit. Like, this ain't it.
We get to it. Yeah.
I changed my mindset.
Yeah.
So when my savings depleted, within the next 2 weeks, I got a call from the sheriff department. Drug screening, background check, family check, all different all types of crazy stuff.
What?
So
I'm sticking
break it all the way down, y'all. I got the job.
Yeah.
40,000 signing bonus. Great insurance as if I was a sheriff on the street. I love the job because I learned law. So I shared law with everybody I could. Mm-hmm. I didn't like, once I really got in the system and learned Texas is not for the urban man. I'm going to just say that.
You mean it's not for black folks?
Law.
Oh, no, absolutely
Okay.
not. No.
I told my wife I started seeing things, I started experiencing things that would just made me feel disgusted, and it just took my happy-go-lucky away from being a sheriff. So my wife started seeing how it was draining me, how I wasn't myself. I would come home and not talk about my day and all of these great things that I used to do. She like, something going on, but I didn't want to bring it home. I didn't want to come home and say, babe,
were you doing
I had to break up men.
Were you doing any kind of therapy or any kind of
No.
Just tucking it away?
People don't understand the life of an officer. I really take my hat off to any support, anybody in the officer field, anybody in that type of lane. They got it hard on both ends. Because I was an officer in the jail and a civilian on the street. Mm-hmm. So what if I see that same person that was in the jail on the street?
What if you get pulled over and get treated like that person that was in jail too? Because that could happen too.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, it gave me a bitter feeling, and my wife noticed it, and she bought my photography studio for me and surprised me and gave it to me when we was in Detroit visiting family.
That's pretty fire, though.
My sister told her, he is not about to be working at that jail in about 6 months. I was out of there in like 2 or 3.
It's funny, somebody told me I wasn't going to be working at my job. I have a step at 9 to 5. Someone told me, you ain't going to be here too much longer. You keep doing these interviews. I'm like, maybe I don't see it yet. I see all the stuff I'm doing, but I get what you're saying. Like, once you get that set up, it's time to shoot out of there. So, yeah. And
I didn't do things the right way, but my family would never have to want for nothing. Mm-hmm. So if the right way, I would have got contracts. I would have left with the same income coming in as I had at the jail.
Word.
And I was just like, man, I'm done.
Man. And then I'm assuming that thrust you right into your photography career. You just took it and ran with it, right?
Hard.
Okay.
But never then I didn't have that same nice income coming in as a regular. So my mindset was I need to work just as hard as if I was in the jail for my business. Yeah. And then I need to learn the right language of Texas. Because I was thinking I can just do what I did in Detroit, in Texas, and it didn't work at all.
They're slower down here, for one thing. Things move a little slower, so yeah.
Yeah, but we in a home with a Fortune 500 companies, too.
Currently, it wasn't always that. We are now, yeah. It wasn't always that, though.
So I went and got minority certified, Hub Zone certified, SBE certified, and I'm a Dollaz ISD vendor.
I see that. Okay, I like you taking notes back there, Becky. This dude here, man, you're dropping gems.
But
you can tell me all these things offline. What they mean? Let me know if I need to do it as well.
Because I wanted to put myself in the A-list lane. I didn't want to be in everybody else's lane.
So that's where the name came from, basically.
My name came from back in the day in Detroit. I used to always hear on the radio, we downtown on the A-list. And I'm like, shoot, one day I want to be on the A-list.
I see you. I see what you did there. I like that. I like that. So question, you said no therapy. Did that change?
Me and my wife, we have marriage therapy, and that helped a lot.
So no individual? No
individual.
I do. I love individual. We've done it.
I've asked him to go individually because there may be some things that he may need to release that he's holding on to even prior to me along with things just that a man deals with on a daily basis that I can't reference to or say, hey, I'm here for you. There's so many things or so many ways I could say I'm here for you. But as a man, I can't understand 100% what you're going through because I am a woman. So I have suggested, one-on-one therapy
I got one
would be
for
a
you
good
if you need
idea
it, man.
for him. Because it'll make you feel better. And I'm gonna just say something about therapy really quickly. Growing up in the Black community, they teach you don't tell no business. They teach you what goes on in the house stays in the house.
Yep.
And that's not accurate. It's because therapy is so therapeutic on so many levels.
Yeah.
And it can help you in so many ways. And just think about how a person can shift their mindset or how they can view things differently once they get that therapy.
Let me tell you, a Wednesday between 6 and 7 p.m., I was crying. I was talking to my therapist. I have a Black female therapist. I've tried them all. I prefer Black female therapists because it just seems like they just kind of, there's that different level of understanding and nurturing. So I was crying on Wednesday, releasing some things, family stuff that I'd been holding on to, and I had moved on from it, but you think you've moved on. Physically, you've gone and transcended, but mentally, it is still in there creeping around. And so I had that going on. I don't have co-hosts anymore. I'm by myself now. I'm a solo act. That's different. Like, it is one of my co-hosts had to step away because of school. He's a teacher. The other one, she decided she wanted to step down and not do it. That was tough. I'm like, how am I going to do this shit by myself? You know what I mean? So I designed it for a team. That was bothering me because I'm like, I didn't come into this to be a solo act. I came into this to build this with my friends and team because it's, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
that was weighing on me. And then like the business side of it, we have our first live show coming on November 10th. We have like all these things going on. I'm like, man, I'm only one man. Like, how am I even, And I told her I feel like I had lost a lot because like all these people just kind of fell by the wayside with all this show stuff going on. And that therapy, man, without that, I wouldn't even be sitting here smiling today. I was so happy when I got to release all that. And so I'm not giving you advice, but I'll tell you, for me, therapy is the key. Like, I can't do any of this without it. I just can't. Just like I need God, I need my therapist too. It's no different than me needing my PCP. I need my therapist. I need my, you need things. And that for me is one of those tools I would tell you, man, if you could use it, it'll take you so much further than you ever thought you could go. Marriage counts is awesome too, but it's the individualized session where you can sit there in the privacy of a conversation with someone that has no bias about it. Because you can ask her how you feel, but she has bias. She knows you, right? So she knows what to say, what not to say. She knows the triggers. The therapist knows none of that. They know what you give them. And it's on you to just let it go, let it fly. So I would say, hey, and this is for anyone listening too, hey, try it. It can't hurt. He looking at me like, man, damn it.
Hey, I'm taking it in.
Yeah, man, I definitely would encourage you, especially black man to black man. We need it, man. We
respect that.
We walk through life with so much on us, right?
Iron sharper
This skin
iron.
carries so much weight, and you don't even think, we don't think about it, right? But the world sees it differently. I see you as a man that's doing his thing and has a beautiful marriage. That's not what they see when you walk down the street or go into the grocery store, or if you buy yourself on the street. That's not how they see us, right? So therapy helps me release that part too, because I've had a lot of those conversations too, like, oh, this racist shit, like therapy, man. So just, if you need a suggestion, I got somebody. She's amazing. She's been my therapist for like 5 years, so I would advise, Anyways, moving on. Sorry.
And then
Got my
also too,
soapbox.
just to go back a little backstory on how he got the studio.
Yeah, go
so when he decided that he wanted to pursue me and he wanted to move to Texas, that was a process.
It's the for me.
It was the process within itself. This man sold everything he had
Oh, you
back
was
in
ready.
Detroit to
Yeah.
come to Texas.
That's what's up.
And so, okay, my prayer went something like this. Okay, I'm like, Lord, listen, if this man is willing to sell and get rid of everything he owns just to come and be with me and start over, I want to be able to pour back into him and give it back to him.
Man, you're like a love story, man. This is crazy.
So,
That's so crazy.
He got rid of his studio. He got rid of his BMW. He sold a lot of his equipment and things of that nature.
Not the BMW.
The BMW.
You replaced it by now, though, I'm sure. Yeah, for sure.
So when he came and we had the opportunity, I was like, okay, God, listen. Put me in a position to be able to put his passion, his love, his baby first, give that back to him. It's because when he moved here, that wasn't an option. He had to build A-list back up from the ground. Mm-hmm. That phone wasn't ringing. Nobody was booking A-list. So he had to settle for a 9 to 5. That's not what made him happy. That's not his dream.
Yeah.
And so I believed in him. So since I believe in you, I'm going to show you I believe in you. I'm going to pour into you.
That's what's up.
And so God put me in a position. I gave him the keys on Father's Day, and his birthday kind of is on the same day every now and again. What is like
Yeah, my
every
birthday
other
falls
year or
on
something
Father's
like
Day
that.
every 4 years.
Does it?
So-
my birthday falls on Mother's Day. I never get a birthday because of it. So it's cool. Lucky you.
So that's how I was able to bless him with that,
That's very
and
cool.
it's been amazing.
As you've taken this journey, you know, I spoke about people falling by the wayside or people having negative things to say. You know, have you experienced that, or not even have you? What has it been like? Because I know you've experienced negativity along this journey. It can't have all been great. Have you lost people along the way, or have people moved away from you, or you get what I'm saying? Has there been that separation because of all the things, the success, the love, the journey?
I answer that.
Uh-oh, she got it.
He's poured more into people than people have poured into him. And that's the part that I don't like. But I sit back and I chill and I don't say too much unless we're at home and we're just talking. And that's what bothers me. Now, he can say what he feels, but that's my point of view. He pours for free. He gives knowledge. That's what he's all about. He's reading books. He's listening to podcasts. And anybody he comes into contact with, he's going to pour into them.
I'm the same way, but I can resonate. That resonates with me because I'm the same way. I've had people I was pouring into, like, why you didn't do it then? Well, maybe I can't afford to do this shit right now, but it's a great idea. You can, so here you go. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm the same type of person, bro.
I come from a place where I have mentors. So I have a mentor in Dallas. I have a mentor in Detroit. My mentor in Detroit, his name is Rick.
Shout out, Rick. What's up?
Shout out to my mentor. I love you, man. My mentor gave me my first camera after my first photography camera. My mentor gave me my first laptop, my first editing software. You know, he poured into me and told me I can do anything, I can be anything, don't settle for second, anything.
I got you. Paying
My
it forward.
mentor was the dad outside of my dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then here, shout out to my mentor, Giles King.
Shout out to him, too.
This man. All I can say is the village, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having that support ship. You know, Giles owns the Urban Art Center. I get to go and talk to the kids. He got me set up where...
If you ever need help, I've been looking to talk to some kids.
He got me set
shout
up
out.
where...
I'll help you, man.
I get paid to go do after-school programs, the library, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
very cool. In the inner
Going
city?
to teach the senior citizens. My mentor is Giles King.
Inner city of Dallas, right?
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
And I just want to pour back, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just feel like my time is coming. And that's why I don't feel no type of way.
What do you mean your time is coming?
I don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, okay. It sounded morbid for a second. I was like, no, your time, you here for a while, man. What you talking about?
No,
you scared me
I
for a
just
minute.
feel like when I'm blessed with what I'm supposed to have,
Yeah.
truly and fully, I'm going to be able to obtain it and pour back into more people.
I agree with that. Now, on the flip side of that, the people that she thinks you're overpouring into, do you see what she's saying?
I see what she's saying, but I'm still going to do the work of God.
He don't hold grudges. If people come around and he pour into them and, you know, they don't stay and they go on about their business, he okay with it. I'd be like, don't invite them back. Don't hang around them.
I'm a mix of
Nope.
both. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little bit of a mix of both.
But
yeah.
he's not like that. He's like, it's okay. I'm like, no, it ain't.
So what is something that you could say about your career that people wouldn't know or wouldn't expect? Because people think that photography is just taking a picture, going home, edit, send out, next shoot. So what are some of the behind the scenes things that people don't even know or are not privy to?
Editing is no joke.
That
Editing
part.
takes time. Once you master something, you know what I'm saying? That separates you from others. You know, my goal was to be on a mastery where I'm a, you know how they say you can be a universal man, a master of none or something like that?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I mastered photography first, jumped into videography, mastered that. And when I say mastered, I know the basic fundamentals fluently in and out.
Nice.
Meaning I can take any editing software and edit.
What do you usually edit in, if I may ask?
I'm a Adobe head, and now I'm learning DaVinci.
Adobe is so tough for me to use. But see, I'm more on the audio side of things too. So I use Adobe for little things like making thumbnails, things of that nature. Okay. I'm more on the Logic side. I do like, this is all Logic Pro. Like that's what I use for my software. So
it sounds good.
Does it?
Sounds good.
My audio engineer, shout out to John. We call him the Wizard. He does films for Sony. And so amazing. This sounds cool now, but then you get to him and what you hear that comes out.
It's on a different level.
I don't know what he be telling me. I'm like, I don't know what you mean, bro. I know how to get it right in Logic and send it to you. You can do whatever you do in Logic, and then he gets in there and gets crazy. So I know that editing is tough. So
I'm a Sony head as well.
Yeah.
So we got the real pro cameras that's like Netflix approved and stuff like that.
Oh, word.
And then we also have like the Sony A7 series, which is really nice. And we're really big on lenses. So we're really big on prime lenses. Prime.
Becky, he making me want to talk to him about this live show, man. We're going offline. I'm going to ask you some stuff. I need to see if this might have to. Okay, all right. Note that down. I didn't know you did I didn't know you did it on that scale. I knew you did photography. I knew you did weddings, but I didn't know if you did full scale.
Yeah.
Okay, so this changes things.
I'm a corporate man.
Ask him for the big camera is what I call it.
Is that the one they be sitting around with the little thing?
Oh, it's a big camera.
You got that one too?
It's a big camera.
He have a big one. Listen, when he shoots stuff for A-list photography, right? It looks like a movie. It looks so good.
You can sponsor the show if you want to, man. I'm just saying.
We can talk about that.
Listen, I'll be like, when you shoot stuff for me, use the big camera.
Nice. So let me ask you this before we get out of here, because we need to wrap here soon. What is something that you guys would like to tell the audience? Leave them with positive words, because this has all been so much fun. But what would you tell them? Give them something they can chew
on. Life is short. Dream big. Never stop dreaming. Go for everything. Shoot for the stars. And if you don't hit it, at least you land in the atmosphere. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. You?
My advice would be write the vision, make it plain, because I truly believe in that. I believe that when it comes to women, our hair is the crown that we never take off. Our crown may slip, but we can adjust it. And I would say shop Diamond Dior Hair Collections.
I said, plug all your stuff, please. Which
and
camera?
I'm Diamond Dior Hair Collections on all social media platforms.
C1, go ahead and plug all your stuff there.
You can find me on all social media at A-List Photography. We do have a studio location if you don't want to be out in the heat. So we can do stuff in studio, from podcast, photography, videography, live stream. We do have a podcast room where it can be set up multiple ways, where all you have to do is bring your own signage and stuff for your own table. And A-List Photography is everything 4K and better.
Oh, this man here. And for us, as always, shout out to our brand partner, Celestial Beer Works. If you go by there and tell them the Prophetic Podcast hit you, they will give you 15% off. Maddie, I'll see you guys in a little bit. And if nothing else, man, we thank you for coming in. I definitely appreciate this. This is very inspiring. Very, very inspiring, especially from the couple aspect. I think couples, just come on down. Apparently, we're garnering couples now, so all the power couples come on through. But as always, we appreciate you for listening to this podcast. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it, as much as we enjoyed doing it, for sure. We hope that you grow. We hope that you learn. We hope that you always evolve. And we hope that you come back and kick it with us all over again. And you guys should come back too.
We'll be back.
All right. Well, Trevor's not here to say we Prophetic. I'll just plug it in. Jump it in. Anyways, we're out of here. Bye. See y'all. Let me get some horns. Nope, that's a bomb. Look at that.
Hey, listen to the world blow.
One more time. One more. Okay, there it is. All right, we out of here.